11 Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to St. Louis, beautiful St. Louis here, where the Gladiators take on the Las Vegas Fury in the broadcast booth. Bringing you the action today, Jeff Lowe, joined by T. Roy Gaines. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing well, Jeff. Getting ready for tonight's matchup with the two teams who want to get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, speaking of winning, St. Louis comes into this game unable to secure a victory so far in the season. They're looking for their first one against a struggling Las Vegas Fury team on a 3-game skid. Do you think that they have an opportunity here to find their first win?
Yeah, they do have the opportunity, but what they need to do is make sure they play ball control, mistake-free offense. Doing so will be the best defense against Vegas. Noah Johns needs time to throw the ball, and he needs to limit his turnovers. And St. Louis needs to force and capitalize off of Vegas' mistakes, basically take what Vegas gives them. And while for Las Vegas, their offense must play mistake-free football. But the O-line must give Thomas Rahman time to throw the ball, and he must limit the turnovers. And he and his wide receiver core has to help out Redford today.
Speaking of Robert Redford, the wonderful back for Las Vegas has been a bright spot for them so far this season. I'm sure they're going to be looking to push that advantage as much as they can against this struggling St. Louis defense.
Yeah, he has definitely been the most consistent player on Las Vegas' side of the ball for offense. He already has 858 yards rushing coming into today's game. He can have 1,000 yards if he has his usual day today, but St. Louis will get the ball first.
Yep, St. Louis will receive the first kickoff, and we are just moments away from getting this matchup underway here in St. Louis. There's the kick. Will be fielded at the 5. A solid return to start the day for St. Louis. They'll run it all the way out to the 28, and we get to see Noah Johns and what he can do on the first drive.
Yeah, Noah Johns has to play perfect football today. Last week in their loss against San Francisco, he only had 141 yards passing, but he was sacked 7 times. We'll see if he can change that starting today's game, this drive.
You see Johns on your screen there. They'll start the drive off in the shotgun. Got 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen. Certainly looking to pass here on first down. He'll take the snap. Drops back, gets hit as he throws. It's caught, but just out of bounds. Targeting Nick Finch there, just overthrows him. Good on him to get rid of the ball and not take an early sack.
Yeah, the lineman for Las Vegas is beating on Noah Johns there, but Noah Johns was able to get that football off just in time, just to make sure that he didn't get lost, as you said.
And there you see Rhett Sawyer, number 54 for the Fury. Second in the league in sacks coming into this week. Certainly would love to add on to the total, and there's not much of a better team to do it against than these Gladiators, but there's a handoff right up the middle. Get about 3 out to the 31. It's going to be a pretty crucial 3rd and 7. You don't want to see this St. Louis offense get stifled so early.
Yes, and again, like I mentioned earlier, they need to take what Vegas gives them. Looks like they had a chance to get first down earlier, but that wayward pass prevented that from happening. A very important 3rd down here. They have to convert.
Johns in the gun. He'll fake the handoff. Tons of time. Fires over the middle, in and out of the hands. Can't believe he didn't come up with that play, but it's going to be 4th and 7. St. Louis will punt it away.
And unfortunately, we couldn't make out the number of the receiver who was wide open. If he would have made that catch, he had a house call for 6. Unfortunately, for and actually that's number 15. It looks like Algelani was the intended receiver on that one. Unfortunately for St. Louis, they got to punt. We'll see if their defense can force Vegas to make a turnover here.
They will punt it away. That's Zabrikowski punting that ball. Fair catch at the 40. They'll take it there at the 40-yard line. Good field position to start. I thought he could have had a little bit of a return, but, opting not to turn the ball over. Again, 40-yard line, a pretty good, first drive location for Las Vegas.
Yeah, and we see if Thomas Rahman's ready to shake off the jitters from the earlier games and put an end to his current 3-game losing streak that Vegas is experiencing right now.
He'll start this drive in the gun as well. Both teams really looking heavy pass.
Uh-oh.
In a way, he gets sacked on the play. Beautiful tackle. As that is Sheldon Morant, cornerback there for the Gladiators, coming in on the sack. Loss of 9 on first down.
Well, they sent more than what Vegas can block. That was a backup quarterback blitzing and was able to get to Thomas Rahman for a huge loss. We'll see how Vegas responds.
Rahman under center. Takes the snap. Over the middle. Incomplete. That one looked like it hit the hands of number 25, but he can't quite haul it in.
Yeah, Malcolm Crowe. He is listed as their fullback, but he's 5'11", 200 pounds, the same height and weight as Robert Redford, their running back. Unfortunately, he had brick hands on that play, making this a very difficult third down for Las Vegas.
A 3rd and long from their own 32. 5 wide receivers on this play. He'll step up in the pocket, get sacked again. 2 sacks on the first drive. St. Louis come up huge.
And that's Shane Masters not caring about Las Vegas's low flex zone. Great job with the block shed, and he gets his 5th sack of the season. And this is a very good way to go, St. Louis, responding to the challenge of their opening possession against the Vegas offense.
This gives Peltier a chance to try to return this one. Punt is away. He'll field it at the 45. Doesn't get much further than that, but trading good field position on the offensive side. It's just nobody's even been able to generate any kind of yardage over the air. I don't think we've even seen a complete pass yet.
No complete passes, and only 1 carry for both running backs. That was Diesel Dawson, the running back, as we see in the picture right there. He only got 1 carry for 3 yards. So see if St. Louis is going to switch it up here.
And for Johns, he's got Nick Finch, Vadir Ajloni, and Kevin Flynn, a new sign. He'll throw that over. Finally, a complete passing play, only about 1 yard, gets it out to midfield. As there is nobody that I just mentioned, of course. Why would it be? That's the wide receiver, Jacob Swain, on the catch.
Yeah, but you did mention Kevin Flynn, and he's one of the many players that was able to hashtag from couch to field this past week.
He is a week 8 signing. This is his first SFL game. We'll see if he gets in on the action. There's a toss over the middle. Can't quite haul that one in, so it'll bring up 3rd and 9 from the 50.
And right now, both of actually St. Louis's receivers hasn't been coming through for their quarterback. Noah Johnson's been throwing great passes to his receivers, and he only got 1 catch to get credit for. The receivers got to do a better job here.
Well, it's interesting that he's only targeted Finch once, and it was a throw as he was being hit. We'll see if he goes to him here on a 3rd and 9. That's out towards the flat, deflected over top. Good coverage that time by Maricatera. Almost grabbed the interception. He could have turned that in for some major points, but it goes in and out of the hands.
And would you believe that is his 4th pat down of this season coming into today's game? We are week 8 right now. He only has 4 pat downs, but that was a good play because it basically put a stop to this drive. And once again, the offensive woes for St. Louis is continuing here in this first quarter.
Yeah, both teams have not been able to generate a first down. We're only a few minutes into quarter number 1. We've already seen 3 punts. This one will be returned out to the Las Vegas 29 and will give Thomas Rahman his next chance to come onto the field. Maybe he can do a little bit better than Johns and company.
Yeah, but I also like to see them give the ball to Robert Redford. As I mentioned in the pregame, he's near 1,000 yards rushing. He's at over 850 yards rushing. It's time to feed him the ball and take some pressure off of Rahman.
They are looking like they're showing a run here. Let's see if they hand it off. That they will, but I believe that's the fullback up the middle. will gain about 8 out to the 36. So a good solid run to start the drive.
Yeah, very good run. And that actually was a effort. Good job by him running up the gut. Put a nice spin move there, give his team an easier down and distance to convert here. Let's see if Vegas going to give the ball back to Redford and go back to their passing game.
Well, it's going to be Rahman in the gun. 2 receivers on this play. They're showing blitz. We'll see if they go for it. Drop back. Fires over the middle off the hands of the defender. They're going to play hurry-up offense here. They saw something they liked in the defense. They want to run it again.
Let's see if they'll catch St. Louis off guard. That was almost a pick, though.
Let's see what they do. Takes the snap, drops back, looks over the middle, fires. That is caught for the first down of the game. And they're going to continue to run this hurry-up offense. Number 81, John Blades on the catch.
Great catch by him. This drive continues.
One more time looking for Blades over the middle. What a catch, a diving catch from Blades. And it brings it down to the 30. They're still in the hurry-up offense now.
Yeah, and looks like they see something in St. Louis defense. See, they can keep it up. Look out!
Oh, that's not what they wanted to see, but they're still going to keep it running. You would think they would just want to take a break after that. A solid sack.
Yeah, they almost put them out of field goal range. So you be careful here.
Throws it out to his right. It's caught out of bounds. And now 3rd and 19. Same formation they've been running the entire drive. Takes the snap. Looks over the middle. Fires. Almost intercepted again. Incomplete. And my word, I need to catch my breath. That's Drew really on the breakup there. Solid play by him, but my goodness, they are just moving the ball now.
Yeah, they try to go a high-power offense, but after that long catch, I believe it was by Brett Funk previously, they just stalled. St. Louis was able to adapt on defense, get a couple of losses, and now St. Louis got a decision to make. Sorry, Las Vegas has a decision to make, and it looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, they'll punt this one away towards Peltier. Really interesting that they decided to go full hurry up even after the sack. They didn't want to abandon it.
And also
took them out of field goal range, and now they're going to punt it away. That is going to be fair caught at the 10. You are watching the Simulation Football League here on 11 Sports, presented by APM Music. We're going to take a very short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to St. Louis, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of drives from either team and a couple of punts. So now it's going to be Noah Johns having an opportunity here, Troy.
Yeah, they're stuck in their own, inside their, actually beyond the 10-yard line. We'll see if they can get some yards here, right? Ooh, here's a chance.
Air it out, and it's caught. He breaks one tackle, gets by the other. He's going. That's Cody Scott, the tight end. He'll take it all the way down, an 89-yard touchdown pass. And St. Louis are on the board.
And Las Vegas got caught sleeping at the wheel. St. Louis has been throwing to their wide receivers the past possession, so they figured they're going to the wide receivers on this play, and Scott was wide open. Nobody within 5 yards of him before he made that catch, and then he was able to break the tackles, and we have to congratulate him as he makes his house call to 6. He's now over 3,000 yards receiving as a tight end throughout his career in the regular season. Congrats to Cody Scott. Way to break that 3,000-yard mark.
And what a way to do it. An 89-yard touchdown pass. Breaks 2 tackles on the way. He was not going to be denied. Puts his team on the board, and goodness gracious, that is the fire that we want to see from St. Louis if they want to get their first victory.
And we mentioned at the beginning of the game, pregame, that St. Louis needs to take what Vegas gives them. And what Vegas gave them was a wide open tight end. Great job by them capitalizing on Vegas' mistakes. And now they're about to take the 7-point lead here.
Kick is up and in. 7-0 in favor of St. Louis. They're on the board as Cody Scott gets his 3,000-yard mark. And if you want to join in on all of the fun, please visit simulationfl.net. Join our Discord server. We have so many new people signing up every day. You could be one of them. You could be Cody Scott getting his 3,000 total yards in his career if you put in the time and effort like all of these players do. We would love to have you. Please join. Visit our website, simulationfl.com. But now Las Vegas, they have to respond. They get a decent return out to the 31. And neither team until that play had been able to get anything rolling on offense, but Las Vegas needs to do it.
Yeah, but they need to rely on their running back, Robert Redford, and then Rahman has to limit the mistakes. I guess in the previous possession, those hurry-up offense failures was a mistake. We'll see if they can change that here.
Well, swinging out wide. Catch brought in by Brett Funk. 4-yard gain up to the 35. And yeah, I don't know. We talked about it during the break briefly, Troy, that, the hurry-up offense, it didn't seem to quite work for them. It seemed like they were almost kind of pressuring themselves.
Yeah, after that huge catch by Funk to get into St. Louis territory, they just basically shot themselves in the foot, and St. Louis was able to capitalize off their mistake.
They hand it off to Redford now. Hard run all the way out to the 45. It'll give them a 1st and 10.
But the positive from the previous drive is that the receivers were catching the ball, and that gives Robert Redford easier more room to roam when he gets the ball, as he gets like 12 yards. But that's the second carry of today's game that has gone over 5 yards. I'll keep feeding him. Don't forget about this guy right here, number 28, wearing the white and black today.
Well, Rahman will drop back. Throws it over towards Redford. He'll get at least 10. Spins, but can't quite get away from the defender. And yeah, Redford making an impact now for this Las Vegas team.
And this one, a few times where Redford had to make a catch while waiting for the ball to get to him instead of making the catch in motion, but didn't hurt him because he was able to get another 10 yards. So St. Louis wasn't focusing on Redford on that play. If I was Las Vegas, let's go ahead and make the adjustment right now. Give 28 the ball more until St. Louis says we're going to stop that.
See what they do decide to do. That's Redford in the backfield. Three wide on the bottom of your screen. Rahman will take the snap. Looks for Redford again. Finds him but can't quite get beyond the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there by Colin Douglas. First time we've called his name.
The University of Michigan Wolverine fan coming through for his team, making a nice open field tackle on Robert Redford there. There was nobody there to help Redford after he made the catch, so Douglas took advantage of that.
Douglas, a 7-year veteran in this league, gets his tackle there as this one's fired out over the right side. Oh, it's caught! What a beautiful catch by Memphis Blue. Brings it all the way down to the 20-yard line, and here's the hurry-up offense again. We'll see if it works out for them. They've got 5 wide.
Exactly.
Takes the snap, drops back, has to move. He gets sacked on the play, and they're going to keep rolling with this offense.
That was Mar Rivers and Shane Masters combining on the sack there.
One more time, Rahman will drop back. Throws it over the middle. Caught! What a hit! Absolutely rocks Brett Funk, but he hangs on. It's 1st and goal from the 3.
I don't like this formation here at the 3. We'll see how Las Vegas responds.
Well, he drops back. He's scrambling away over the middle again. And out of the
no!
My word, it's just high intensity offense from Las Vegas. They're still threatening from the 3. Still in the gun, still in the same formation. Has a man over the middle.
There we go
for the touchdown. It's Blue, and we have a tie ball game.
Toe drag swag completed by Memphis Blue there. Great job making this catch, making sure both feet were in bounds. No challenge needed. Las Vegas responds to the St. Louis score, but I was a little worried there. I think you were too with that hurry up, but it came through for Las Vegas that time.
Well, how many times do you see from within the 5-yard line a team line up with 5 wide receivers?
Very few.
Well, they did it twice in a row. It paid off for him there. Here's the extra point. Kick is up and through. It is tied up at 7. And my goodness, what a game we have on our hands. We're going to take a very short break. On the other side of that, the end of the first quarter here at the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to St. Louis. We have quite a ball game on our hands. Jeff Lowe, Troy Gaines in the booth, bringing you all of the action. And Troy, this has been a fun one so far.
Yeah, after basically a stalemate on offense on both teams' first possessions, they decided to heat up and catch fire, and we have a ball game, an interesting ball game in our hands. We'll see how St. Louis responds to the Vegas touchdown.
Peltier brings that out to the 29 and start one more time. Last drive for St. Louis was a one-play, 89-yard touchdown catch by Cody Scott. We'll see if he has it in him again. This time, Johns will start in the gun. He drops back, has tons of time, finally flings it, intercepted!
He's gone.
He's running it back, 10 to the 5, touchdown Las Vegas, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was a very bad pass. And the Week 7 signee, Freddie Trammell, was able to take advantage of that. The O-line did their part for St. Louis. They gave Johns plenty of time to throw the ball, but Johns decided to be Brett Favre, like with that gunslinger-type sidearm throw, and Trammell baited him and made Johns pay for it. And now Vegas has the lead.
And you said it, a Week 7 signing. Just last week, Freddie Trammell signed to this Las Vegas squad, gets the interception, runs it back for a touchdown. And, you know, we mentioned that St. Louis, they scored on the first play of their last drive, and now they score. The enemy team scores the first play of this drive for them as well. And, man, this game, you know, it started off super slow. You mentioned it. But, my goodness, has this been so much fun.
Yes. That's been a great job by Freddie Trammell, who gets his first pick 6 of his career, by the way.
Well, congratulations to him. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to Cameron Irvine for a quick game break.
This is not the only game with high octane intensity here to start. Oklahoma City on the road in the military rivalry. They lead Sioux Falls after Sioux Falls beat the undefeated Vultures last week 14-7. Same score as in St. Louis. Back to Jeff and Troy in Missouri.
And that was a good return by Peltier there.
All the way out to the 33-yard line. So the Gladiators get another opportunity. John's got to put that one behind him. And again, they're throwing pass. They have not really used Diesel Dawson much at all in this game so far. That one will be caught. That is a wonderful catch. Great job reaching out. And there he is, Diesel Dawson over the middle.
And we was talking about this in the pregame. Diesel Dawson, wherever he gets the ball, he has been producing, but they haven't gone to him too much. But he's a great receiver out of backfield, and why not? He's 6'5", 235. He's tall enough to be a receiver here in the SFL.
Yeah, my goodness, he rivals tight end height and weight, if you will. He is just as quick as a halfback. So we take a look at the chat over the middle one more time. What a catch! Woo-hoo! In traffic, Nick Finch hauls it down all the way out to the 37 of Las Vegas. And if you all in Twitch chat are not having fun, my goodness, I don't know what game you're watching, but it can't be this one.
Yeah, right now St. Louis has came to play on offense. They're moving down the field. Nick Fitch looks like he got his swagger back, making a great catch amongst two Las Vegas Fury defenders to help get St. Louis in Las Vegas territory.
If you want to join in on the conversation, visit the Twitch page, twitch.tv/11 Sports Next.
Oh,
As that one's dropped in and out of the hands of Badir Ajloni. He had a catch earlier, but has been relatively quiet since.
yeah, he's been off and on today so far. I think that's his second drop of today's game, but he definitely needs to help out Noah Johns because St. Louis looks like they got a lot of momentum with their new offensive coordinator, Colin Douglas, taking over the realm here, and their offense has been awesome to watch so far in this first quarter.
And I spoke to Colin actually earlier on yesterday. Ooh, big hit on Diesel Dawson. He gets all the way out. He pops right back to his feet, but took a hard hit right there.
And that was Max Jackson bringing the pain, but Diesel Dawson did a great job running up the guts. Kind of hard to miss this dude running the ball. And since he was upright, his ribs was wide open for Max Jackson to destroy there.
Well, just to finish the thought, I talked to Colin a little bit yesterday, and he is confident in his play calling, hoping to turn around this St. Louis team as they'll hand it off to Jackson. I'm sorry, not Jackson, Dawson. Right up the middle. He gets enough for the first down. He kind of hesitated. He's lucky he made it there.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried there. He was slow getting up, but he got that first down. This drive continues. St. Louis is getting ready to put some more points on the board. We'll see if that happens.
And I believe that was Jason Kiriakis' first tackle here in the SFL. He was a Week 8 signing, so congrats to him on getting into the game. First tackle of his SFL career. Handed off to Dawson again. He breaks through for another 10. They're down to the 17.
And this drive is solely Diesel Dawson. I know the receivers did make a couple of catches, but Diesel Dawson is the star of this drive so far. Nice carry, good blocking by his lead blockers there, and good job muscling through 2 tackles in order to get the first down.
Diesel Dawson, a Week 3 signing, rookie here, has shown promise for this St. Louis team. We'll see if he can lead them to a touchdown on this drive. In the red zone now from the 17. Johns will throw it over towards Dawson. He cuts back towards the middle. Kind of an ill-advised play there. He'll lose a yard.
Yeah, and unfortunately for a guy his height and weight, it's kind of hard to get started after stopping his momentum, and that's what happened. He had to stop, make the catch, and before he can get going again, there was already a swarm of Fury defenders ready to meet him for a 1-yard loss.
We talked about these wide formations. Here's one from St. Louis. They'll fire over the middle, almost intercepted. It's still in the air, but drops to the ground. Good coverage there by Max Jackson.
Good. That was a great coverage by Max Jackson, but I think Noah Johns should have looked at the bottom of the screen. He had his 6'4" running back, Diesel Dawson, basically uncovered. That would have been a surefire first down. Instead, it's 3rd and 11. And I know St. Louis wants to get 6 instead of settling for a field goal.
And now it's 3rd and long. 3rd and 11, in fact, from the 18. 4 wide again. Johns will take the snap. Scans back towards the middle. Touchdown by Badir Ajloni. Puts 6 on the board, and this game turning into a shootout early.
This is a very exciting first quarter. Great job by Badir Ajloni. As Noah Johns saw that, he did a double move. Back inside. He could have went to the outside and still be able to make the catch, but the route was going for the goalpost there. Ajlani was basically untouched as he made that catch, and St. Louis already over their points per game so far in the season. They averaged 9 per game. They about to get 14 after his extra point.
Assuming this goes straight through the uprights, we should have a tie game. Ew, that was very, very close.
I almost jinxed it.
Can never assume, but it does go through. We won't have to deal with that curse. And you can follow us on multiple social media platforms Instagram at Simulation FL. I believe that's the same on Twitter as well. So please do follow us if you enjoy the action. We have 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. And we talked a bit before the game, a bit in the pregame. St. Louis comes into this obviously on a downturn in their season. They're 0-6 to start. They got shut out last game. Their last loss was a 43-0 loss, but it seems like, with new play calling, a little bit of life inserted into the offense, they've kind of sorted some things out.
And you know what that does for St. Louis? That helps their defense out, because now they know that, our offense got our back. We should ball out and make sure we stop this high potent running attack of Las Vegas. Let's see if that happens here as we're about to close out the first quarter.
16 seconds left here in the first. They'll throw it out towards the running back. Did he make the catch? I believe he did, but it didn't count for any yards. Steps out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. It's Redford on the catch there. So 2nd and 10 from the 30.
So the only thing that catch does basically is pad Redford's receiving stats. He's a great receiver out of the backfield, but unfortunately his momentum carried him out of bounds. He couldn't do anything after the catch.
It is interesting that we talked about Redford being a quality running back, but the Fury haven't really utilized him so much in this game. It's been Diesel Dawson, his counterpart, that has done well for the Gladiators, as I believe that is going to take us down to the end of the first. 3-yard gain, and that will be the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we will get into the second quarter of this wonderful football game here on the Simulation Football League presented by APM. And tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on 11 Sports is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. Brought to you in part by Fuel Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new sflinteractive.net today. Met Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL. And by MediaTek Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. That's AIRVUZ.com. Those are some beautiful shots of the St. Louis landscape, but we have a beautiful game going on here, Troy. Start of the second quarter. Las Vegas, 3rd and 7. It's a crucial one. They'll fire over the middle. Woo! Knocked down. Beautiful defensive play.
I thought that could be a catch, but Mr. number 31, Ethan Kai, was able to climb that ladder and make that pat down, put it into this drive. But we were talking on the break, Jeff, that St. Louis's offense has done a great job so far. The only difference is that one interception that went to the house. Otherwise, St. Louis offense has been great so far. We'll see if that continues in the second quarter.
It took them a little while to get started, certainly. First couple of drives, not so great. They found a long touchdown pass to their tight end, Cody Scott, which broke his 3K yards in his career as well. And the ensuing drive for them, a pick six. But you're absolutely right. It seems like they've certainly figured some things out on the offensive side. They did just drive the ball downfield, scored a touchdown on the back of Diesel Dawson. We'll see if they do it again. Get good field position, starting at their own 41 here. Under center is Johns. He'll hand that off. Why not go back to Diesel Dawson? He takes another hit, but he's been taking hits all night, and he keeps getting right back up.
It doesn't hurt that you weigh 235 pounds and you a tall grass of water carrying the ball up the gut like that. So he may be able to absorb hits from a beast in the secondary wearing number 37 there, Max Jackson.
Yeah, certainly. We've seen Max Jackson lay out some devastating hits on running backs and wide receivers alike. I'll hand it off to Dawson again. Takes another hard hit, but he's out to the 48, 3rd and 3.
And look at his yards per carry, 5.2. Why not keep beating that beast the ball? But it's 3rd and 3. They got plenty of options here with this 3rd and short. Will Noah Johns be able to continue his hot streak that he's been experiencing in the first quarter?
Well, they decided to split everybody out. Oh, big up the line. Absolutely domination. Rhett Sawyer gets another sack on his wonderful season so far.
And Rhett Sawyer basically said, "Get out of my way, fool. I'm about to get my 10." Actually, there was nobody there.
Yeah.
Number 78 is like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to block you. But Rhett Sawyer just got through and got his 10.5 sack this season. Wow.
Yeah, and it looked like center Freddie Tubbs maybe missed his assignment as well. It looked like he was double teaming potentially the wrong guy. I mean, if you're going to double team anyone, you'd want it to be Rhett Sawyer, I believe.
You figure you'd be Rhett Sawyer, but didn't happen that time.
No, absolutely not. Rhett Sawyer gets another sack on his career. He is second coming into this week in sacks. So we'll take a quick look. He's up to 10.5 now, trailing behind Gib Lidu.
One of the coolest names. Actually, the first two both have cool names, Rhett Sawyer and Ghibli do.
But yeah, Rhett Sawyer adding another one. I'm sure we'll call his name in the sack department again later on this game. But Las Vegas get the ball back early in this second quarter. What can Thomas Rahman do? He'll drop back over the middle. Good catch, good play. Gets all the way out to the 36. It's a pretty safe throw as well from Rahman.
And that catch was made by Simon Templar, 6'2", 209-pounder, the backup wide receiver making the play. As we look at the chat there, see the response. Looks like somebody wants to become a player there. I can't read the name because my eyesight's bad. I think it's Chili Dog 25.
Yeah, well, Chili Dog 25. Ooh, somebody jumped off the line there. It's a free play. Good run by Robert Redford. He'll get all the way out to the 36. But yeah, if you do want to join the Simulation Football League, visit our website, simulationfl.net, and you can find our Discord information. Download Discord, join our server, and we will absolutely help you hashtag from couch to field. As we've got even a couple of players in this game. First game for them, Kevin Flynn for the Gladiators, wide receiver, as well as Jason Kiriakis for the Fury on defense. As you see all of those players who've joined in just this week.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to number 55 for Baltimore. He plays his first game later on today.
And you have certainly a special interest in the Baltimore game.
Yes, I do. Got a nice little red eye I have to take from here to Baltimore after this game.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately, but St. Louis to Baltimore. You think you could do it in 10 minutes?
Oh, I think that can happen. I use my kicker's jet plane, nice
Yeah,
shark
there
plane.
you
It'll work.
go. Well, it's 2nd and 9 from the 45. Rahman out to his right. Good catch. Had some field to work with, but he takes it out of bounds. As I believe that is Marion Cabretti on the catch. I think he was in there earlier as well. They've been trying to incorporate him in the offense.
Yeah, and this is a good sign for Vegas. You know, they have star players at wide receiver, but their backup wide receivers are doing a great job. That's the 2nd out of 3 backup wide receivers that made a catch in this game.
Great route. Beautiful. Gets the first down. Funk on the catch. And if they keep running these little plays, they're going to start, getting these chip yards, and eventually it turns into points.
And then what's going to happen is St. Louis is going to focus more on the passing game, and you can give number 28, Robert Redford, the ball and burn them that way. So Las Vegas is two-dimensional on offense. That's going to help out as this game goes along.
Yeah, we'll see if they give it to Redford here on first down. They'll swing him out and throw it on over to him. Picks up about 5. Trio of Gladiators. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 41. And oddly quiet, I think, for my taste, Robert Redford so far.
Yeah, they've been using him more as a receiver out of backfield so far in this game. But whenever he gets the ball as the bell cow, he's been averaging at least 5 yards a carry.
This one's over the middle. Great
Nice
catch.
play.
Tries to spin around the defender. That's Memphis Blue. Had a touchdown catch earlier. He's been working it over the middle. He's finding some space as we're going to take a look at this replay.
And he's coming. Yeah, he's coming close to 600 yards receiving, Jeff, with great plays like that. Able to go up the middle this time, knowing he's about to get hit right away, but he made the catch and helped get Vegas close to the red zone here.
We'll see if they target him again. They've got 3 wide, but they're in the I formation. Off to hand it off to Redford. Doesn't get more than 2. Good play on the line there by the Gladiators.
And great job by Bo Knows. He knows how to tackle running backs. He did a great job tackling Robert Redford there, holding to 2 yards. St. Louis got a defense that can stop the running game, especially when they know that their offense is putting in some work too. They definitely motivated to keep Vegas from scoring right here.
Hand it off again. Tried the left side this time. Bullies his way through 1. Gets another pickup of about 2, so it'll be 3rd and 6 from just inside the red zone. But Las Vegas, I don't think they would be happy with coming away with just 3 here.
Not after all the hard work they've been putting in this drive so far, but it's definitely a little bit more of a challenge getting this first down here on this 3rd and 6. We'll see if they can step up to the challenge here.
They have 4 wide. In the gun is Rahman. He'll take the snap, drops back, rolls to his right a bit over the middle, caught for a touchdown. Brett Funk, beauty. And they tack on 6 more.
And that's like the 2nd catch in 2 drives where Brett Funk basically laid his body out to make a great catch and took a vicious hit shortly after. But both times he held on the ball. This time it was for 6.
So Las Vegas coming away with 6. As I believe we have a bit of a technical error there. As this one is up and through. We will go ahead and take a very short break. We are here from St. Louis between the Gladiators and the Fury. We'll be back in just a moment. Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. in St. Louis. Going to take a quick kickoff now as Las Vegas drives all the way down the field, tacks on another one. And St. Louis's defense, they've shown bright spots, Troy, but they haven't been able to stop Las Vegas in these crucial areas.
No, they haven't. Vegas will be able to march down the field, and their receivers are making clutch catches now. They're doing what I mentioned at the beginning of the game, at pregame. The receiving core and Ramen has to help out Robert Redford, and right now they're doing so. St. Louis hasn't had an answer for the wide receivers. They have an answer for Redford so far, but not for the wide receivers.
Well, we'll see if St. Louis can march down the field. Oh, that was a dangerous pass just over top of the cornerback. But they get 2 on the play.
And that was Cody Scott, who got his first touchdown of the season in the previous drive. Good job by him making sure that he was able to make the catch in spite of the fact that could have been a pick 6 opportunity for Vegas. Here we go, 2nd and 8.
I believe it was Merrick Atera there as well, looking for that pick. He had one earlier for a touchdown. So fire right side.
Oh, ooh.
Deflected, almost intercepted again. Solid work by the free safety there.
I know, Scott, I'm not trying to throw shade at you, but we saw the difference between 2 receiving players. Las Vegas, Brett Funk, the wide receiver, is able to make catches in spite of the fact that he took vicious hits. Scott wasn't able to do so on that play, which puts his team behind the 8 ball here on this 3rd and long.
Stalling out just briefly. We'll see if they can convert on this 3rd down. Fake the handoff. Fires to his right.
Oh!
Good play. Thomas Rahman Jr. getting a hand on that one.
So Junior is helping out the dad there. Good job by him with the pat down. He almost had a pick 6, but looks like the ball was a little bit too tall for him to reach up and pick it off and take it to the house. But St. Louis is going to have to punt. We'll see if Vegas can get good field position after this.
Yeah, wonderful stop by the Las Vegas defense. And if you're St. Louis, it was a long drive just 4 plays ago that ended in a touchdown for Las Vegas. The defense has to come back out on the field. Do you call a timeout? Do you try to play a little bit differently now if your defense is kind of tired coming into this?
Yeah, somebody on defense going to have to make a play big time. I'm going to put the onus on the D-line, Shane Masters and Marv Rivers, to see if they can put pressure on Rahman to get him to throw an ill-advised pass and have St. Louis get the ball back.
Decent field position as well. 41 of Las Vegas. That's a good throw and a good catch. Memphis Blue all the way down the field, and they continue to move the ball in the air.
It looked like Rivers had a beeline to the quarterback. Good throw by Rahman. In spite of the pressure right there, Rivers had the block shed, but Rahman was able to deliver a nice dot. And Blue was able to come up with the catch. And, man, Las Vegas looks like their offense is on fire. All the momentum is on their side right now.
That was a good catch by Blue as well. Launches that one all the way in and hangs on to the ball. Both teams have had a little bit of struggles. A couple of drop passes early on, but it seems like both wide receiver cores have stepped up. Certainly Las Vegas, they're going to throw it again. Ooh. That one, I believe, was tipped away by the defender. They were targeting Blue again.
You know, fortunately, we couldn't make out the number there, the defender that almost came away with that INT. But so far, Jeff, the difference of this game has been that pick 6 thrown by Johns. If it weren't for that, we'll be tired. Maybe St. Louis will be having the lead. But that was a 14-point swing instead.
See, Memphis Blue getting targeted a lot. The ex-Queen City Corsair. This time they opt to run on 2nd and 10. And only a yard. And we were talking about maybe the passing opening up the run game, but still Robert Redford has not been able to find much.
Yeah, he had like 2 good runs in the first quarter, 1 of 8, another one for over 10. And since then, St. Louis has adapted and basically held Redford in check. Now let's see if the defense, the secondary, can stop these receiving core of the Fury.
Yeah, they need a stop here, certainly with 3:15 to go in the half. Rahman over the middle. It's caught all the way down to the 21. There is Memphis Blue yet again.
And I know if they're in Las Vegas, the fans will be like, blue. But we're in St. Louis, so they are saying boo right now. That's another clutch catch by Memphis Blue, and Las Vegas offense is basically doing what we mentioned in the pregame. They're basically helping out helping out Robert Redford, who was the bright spot coming in today's game, but it's been the receiving core of Vegas that's been heating up.
He'll throw again, this time over towards Redford. Spins, but can't get away from the defender. Picks up 3 into the red zone now for Vegas.
And we usually see referee makes catches out of the backfield go for at least 5 yards, but since there's no blocking that way, and St. Louis didn't bite on the receivers on the opposite side of the field, they had 2 or 3 defenders ready to meet Redford and keep him from getting more than 3 yards.
Well, it's 2nd and 7 from the 18. They'll throw it out again to Redford. Oh, what a move. Shakes off the defender all the way down to the 9. That's the Robert Redford we're expecting.
He decided, all right, I'm about to put 2nd, 3rd, 4th effort on that one because he made Bo nose. And he's Bo nose turf after that whiff right there. Good job by Redford getting that first down.
And the 2-minute warning. So we are going to go ahead and take a very short break. When we come back, Las Vegas threatening yet again. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APN Music here on 11 Sports. We are back in St. Louis. Las Vegas already have a 7-point lead. They're looking to add on more before the end of the half. Rahman scans the defense over the middle. Oh, nobody in the vicinity. Douglas almost took that away, hit him right in the hands.
Colin almost had that INT. Unfortunately, that's there's an old saying. There's a reason why they play defense because they can't make the receptions. That would have been huge if the Michigan Wolverine fan was able to come down with that INT. Instead, they're going to have to find a way to stop Vegas from scoring on 2nd down here.
And Rahman has looked very good in this game, but that was a very bizarre pass. Nobody in the vicinity as he's going to change this play up. See something he likes in the defense.
There you go.
Throws it over to Redford. Can't muscle his way by the couple of defenders. But in the hurry-up offense, we go again from the Fury. It's 3rd and 5. Do they throw this same pass again here, Troy?
Looks like it. No, they don't.
Oh, he steps up, hits while he's throwing. Number 77, Shane Masters, in there to break that up.
Wow, Vegas will have to sell for 3. Masters and was able to come through for his team and stop Vegas from getting more than just 3 points here. We'll see if the special teams of St. Louis can shut Vegas out on this drive, even though it's basically a chip shot here.
You know, I'm surprised that they didn't try to run out the clock a little bit more.
Right.
You know?
It looked like they had Redford for 6 on that previous play, but for some reason, Rahman was able to look towards his way. He got hit, and now they got 3 points instead of 6.
Well, the kick is through, so it becomes a 10-point game now. St. Louis will get the ball back with 1:36 left in the half, so at least a little bit of time for them to try to put some points on the board. But if you would like to join the Simulation Football League, visit our website, simulationfl.net. You'll get all of the information you need to join our Discord server. There are tons of wonderful people in this community. Troy, you've been here for quite a while. I mean, I'm sure you can attest to just how awesome everybody is.
Yeah, everybody in this community has been very welcoming. We also like to talk trash to each other when our team's about to play, but when our teams ain't playing, we're usually rooting for each other to do well each and every year. And also, if you want to do more than just become a player, you want to become a broadcaster, the broadcast team has been very welcoming as well. They made it an easy transition for me coming from being a player to being a commentator.
Well, when your commentary is as good as yours, sir, it can't be too difficult of a transition, as that one's right up the middle. 7 yards on that play. Hands it off to Diesel Dawson. And, I'm interested, why are they running the clock out? You'd think they want to move this down the field.
Yeah, they got a minute and 15 seconds basically to get at least in field goal range. And maybe that's what they're thinking, at least get in the field goal range and at least get 3 on the board. But if I was St. Louis, I'll try to get 6.
We'll see what they do. Do they hand the ball off again? That they will. Dawson can't get out to the first, and here's the hurry-up offense now. 56 seconds left, 3rd and 2 from their 36. Under the gun is Johns. Drops back for the pass.
What a catch.
That is a great catch. He's got to get out of bounds.
Oh, he
does
did.
get taken out of bounds. Cody Scott on the reception gets the first and steps out.
That was close. It looked like he was thinking about turning upfield, and he realized, oh, yeah, let's save ourselves a timeout here. He's able to muscle his way through to the out-of-bounds marker and save St. Louis a timeout there.
They do still have 3 timeouts. With 46 seconds to go, I'm sure they're going to take a couple of shots down the field, try to get themselves in good position. 4 receivers. Dawson in the backfield. There's one over the right side. Great catch. That's Kevin Flynn, and I think that's his first catch in the SFL.
Welcome to the SFL, Kevin Flynn. That is his first catch. And what a throw by Noah Johns, and great concentration by the man who just went from couch to field and from last week. Made a huge impact because now St. Louis is in Vegas territory. They're in field goal range, but now they potentially can get 6.
Congratulations, Kevin Flynn. First ever SFL catch. Couldn't have come at a better time for St. Louis. We'll see if they can turn this into points. Towards the left side, that's hauled in by Nick Finch, and he's had quite a couple of catches in his day.
Yes, he has. And we were a little bit worried about their time of possession here, their time management, at the beginning of this drive. But St. Louis has turned it up with some great catches by their tight ends and receivers, especially the one by Kevin Flynn.
It's going to be 2nd and 3. They're certainly within field goal range now. We'll see if they can drive this home for 6.
Oh, this is a good play.
He's going to cut up field. Steps out of bounds. Well, more like gets hit out of bounds.
Is
but
he
a good
all right?
run from Diesel Dawson. Yeah, he'll hop up. He's been taking hard hits all night.
Now, that could have went for more, but his elite blockers didn't attack the defenders right away. They actually let the defenders come to them, which halted Dawson's progress, but at least they got the first down. They still got 2 timeouts left.
I'd like to see them take a shot to the end zone at least once here. Maybe not on first down, but maybe second down. There's the pass. He's wide open in the end zone. Badir Ajloni gets his 2nd touchdown of the day.
That was too easy, and I think it was a double move. I think the defender thought that Ajlani was going to cut inside. This time, Ajlani cut it to the sidelines. And I believe that is Rahman Jr. who's had Ajlani responsibilities on that play. And good job, Ajlani, making Vegas pay for that. And they're going to be, hopefully, just down by 3 after this attempt.
Well, certainly a 1-possession game, regardless of how this goes. But again, we go back to think about that Las Vegas drive. They got 3 on the drive, but a couple of passes, a couple of incompletes, running it out of bounds. They didn't waste a whole lot of time moving down, and St. Louis scored just before the half. Bring it to within 3, and now it's almost a completely different game going into the second half.
So that's been a tale of 2 mistakes there. So Vegas failed to burn some clock on that previous drive, and St. Louis made them pay for it on that previous possession, on the recent possession, And then earlier, Noah Johns' INT that went for 6, also a huge difference. Otherwise, we could be looking at a whole totally different ball game. But right now, both teams came to play. This has been a very exciting game so far.
Yeah, I mean, This has been certainly a lot of fun, at least for me. Started off a bit slow, but the action has just completely ramped up since 5 or 6 minutes into the first quarter. Las Vegas likely to run the clock out here. Maybe we'll take a shot, see if they can't get something downfield over the middle, off the body there of the receiver. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. I believe Las Vegas will get the ball back to start the second.
Yeah, they will get the ball back to start the second half. But that was a dangerous throw. You don't want your wide receiver having to basically get on his knees and then reach backwards to make a catch. Lucky that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, you don't really want to throw an interception here with 19 seconds left. Could lead to a field goal and potentially a tie game. That's out towards the right sideline. Good catch. So they'll go ahead and extend it. Brett Funk on the reception, 3rd and 6.
So unlike the previous game that I called with Rich Patrick last week where the receiver didn't get out of bounds, Brett Funk was able to do so basically on the same catch. That, I guess Ref 62 is being kind to Las Vegas right now in comparison to the other team last week. I believe that was Chicago who failed to go out of bounds.
Well, they'll throw it deep over the middle, intercepted, and he's got some room to run. We'll get out to the 50, taken down. Beautiful interception by Drew Reilly, and might give St. Louis a chance to throw one into the end zone.
And Drew was like, really? Really, Ramen? You going to test me? Well, you're going to fail that test. Good job by him with the INT. And that was Thomas Ramen's first interception of the game. Will it come back to haunt him? Will St. Louis be able to at least get in the field goal range and kick a field goal? Or are they going to try to go for it all? Which looks like they're going to actually try to go for it all here.
Yeah, they've got 4 split out to the bottom of your screen. Johns could potentially throw a quick pass, try to get out of bounds. He's going to step up, dodges a tackle, ball towards the end zone, and it's tipped away. Can't find it. Close call, but wonderful try from St. Louis. And this game just keeps on giving. 24-21 going into the half. What are your thoughts so far?
A very exciting first half from both teams who basically gone over their points total per game. Las Vegas averages 19 per game. They're already at 24. St. Louis averages 9 per game. They're at 21. And right now, St. Louis is capitalized. Both teams are basically capitalizing on the other team's mistakes. And the difference is that INT by Noah Johns. Otherwise, he's been doing a great job in today's game. I'd like to see both running backs get the ball more here in the second half.
Yeah. Totally agree. Could not agree more with that. As we took a look at the yards, both teams are pretty much even, both in passing and rushing yards. And they must both see something. Obviously, they're exploiting the secondary of either team, because Redford has barely been called on in this game. Dawson has had a couple of good runs, but it's been majority just long passes over the middle.
Yeah, the secondary for both teams have been caught napping, except on this one right here by Freddie Tremolo, then later on by Drew Reilly. But the secondary hasn't done a good job stopping the wide receivers of the opposite team. But I also want to bring up St. Louis. There's a couple of plays where their running back was part of the receiving corps, and he had 5 yards all to himself, or he was completely by himself. If I'm Colin Douglas, I'll go to that play again, go towards Diesel Dawson and throw it to him and let him run up the field for an easy 6 after a catch. I mean, he is 6 foot. He's basically a wide receiver out there. Throw it to him.
Now, one thing I've certainly noticed from St. Louis is that Johns has had quite a lot of time in the pocket so far in this game. He's really been able to scan the defense, find his throws, and it's almost night and day from their last game. he was hit so many times. I think he was sacked 7 times in their last outing.
That's
so
right.
far, Rhett Sawyer broke through for 1 on a bit of a blown play on the offensive line. But other than that, I mean, he's had his time.
Yeah, and that's due to Colin Douglas, the new offensive coordinator for St. Louis, doing a great job game planning for St. Louis against Vegas. A healthy dose of Diesel Dawson and then their wide receivers making big plays as we see in the first half. It's helped Noah Johns getting time to throw the ball because Vegas basically have to respect both the run and the pass.
Well, the second half is underway. St. Louis kicks off to the awaiting Las Vegas. They will start from the 29. So again, it's been a duel in the air between these two clubs, and I wouldn't be surprised if that changed. Maybe the half helped them out. Maybe they've talked to their secondary, Troy, and hopefully both teams can fix it up a little.
Yeah, they're going to have to. Somebody on defense may have to make another great play to help their respective team basically take over.
Well, there's a quick throw out to the left, and as soon as I say that, they decide to burn me on it. Memphis Blue, again, he has been all over the place.
And that is a matchup nightmare for St. Louis. You don't want Tyrion Jones to be covering Memphis Blue there, and that's what happened. Memphis Blue got the slant route to the outside, beat his man, made a great catch, and they're already at midfield.
Memphis Blue is in his first season with Las Vegas. He has proved to be quite an asset for this team so far in this game. We'll see if they target him again. He's cutting across the middle. There's the pass right off. Oh, he caught it! What a catch! Are you serious? John Blade's first catch of the game.
Wow, I just went from bass to soprano there. Great awareness. I thought that he wasn't. I think he just lost concentration. Then once he saw that, I can catch the ball, he did. Great play by him. As we see Redford get the ball on that carry.
I really wish we could have watched the replay. I think it went off his helmet. I think it hit his helmet, bounced off the defender, and then he caught the ball. That is certainly a non-conventional way to make a catch.
So I guess he wasn't expecting to pass his way. He only had 1 reception last week. But once it bounced off his head, he woke up. It's like, okay, I'm making this catch.
We'll see if he can haul in another one as Las Vegas marching down the field. Pitch out. That was an interesting play. Doesn't net them much. Actually loses a yard. Interesting play call.
Man, that's something I usually see in college football back in the day in the early 90s where they fake it to the running back and pitch it off to the running back. So a fake fullback run there. Didn't work to Vegas' favor. It's 3rd and long.
From the 35. Rahman to his right. Good play by the defender there. Again, targeting Blue. In there to break it up.
It is Drew Ridley. I thought it was him. So he comes away with a big pat down because it looked like Vegas had the momentum on their side once again to take it to the house for 6. But he was able to climb that ladder, get 1 paw on that football, and force Vegas to punt here. Good job by St. Louis responding here on this opening possession of the second half.
If they will get the ball back after this punt, and Drew Ridley, he was the man who had that interception right at the end of the half. Didn't turn into any points, unfortunately, but a solid play by him to deny Vegas anything, as that's a great punt. Will be taken down on the 4. So St. Louis get their first opportunity of the half when we come back from a quick break. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music here on 11 Sports. Yo, this game is good.
We're not muted.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. St. Louis take over on their own for Jeff Lowe, Troy Gaines in the booth, Cameron Irvine broadcasting as per usual. Big thank you to him and everybody here who makes the Simulation Football League possible. That's going to be Dawson taking it out, and they've used Dawson to good effect. Do you think they're going to keep going back to him in a close game like this?
I think they should, just to get a little bit pressure off of Noah Johns, even though he's been having a spectacular game so far. But Dawson's having a good game himself. Hopefully that continues here in the second half.
Well, they'll hand it off to him again.
There we go.
Through. It's about 10 yards on that, especially with the tackle from behind. Is he okay? Yes, he is. Thought he was hurt there for a moment, but he does get up, out to the 18, gets off the goal line.
It was get a big oof to number 94, John Spartan, because he's the one who carried him forward with that tackle. He was also the guy who got burnt on the touchdown by Cody Scott earlier in the drive, so he's not having a good earlier in the first half, I'm sorry, but he's not having a good game so far. We'll see if that changes.
Well, there's another swing pass out. Great spin move. Diesel Dawson, only a rookie, but he's playing like a veteran.
And as we mentioned before, why not throw it to this guy? He's basically a wide receiver playing at running back at 6'4", able to make the catch, put somebody on a spin cycle. I believe that's Itera, who did a great job putting them deep in their own territory. But right now, it's been the Diesel Dawson show so far in this drive.
We'll see if they continue to give it full backfield now. They'll hand it off.
Nice.
He's going to slash again. Gets 5 on that play. Can't be stopped. Just keep giving it to him, and he'll give you all the yards you want.
And we may not see the replay of this, but Diesel Dawson saw that he didn't have the lane outside, so he decided to cut back inside and get what Vegas is going to give him, which was 5 yards. And St. Louis is doing a great job moving the ball down the field.
One more time. Oh! He fumbles the ball. It's loose, and it will be recovered by Las Vegas. Max Jackson on the recovery. Wow. After all that hard running, just gets hit from behind, drops the ball. Nobody there for St. Louis to recover it, but a huge turnover for Las Vegas.
If you want to say there's a chink in the armor of number 25, the chink is he is fumble prone. Unfortunately, that's his 3rd fumble this season, and that definitely hurts St. Louis. We'll see if the defense can rise up to the challenge and cause a turnover themselves.
Las Vegas will start from the St. Louis 44, throws it out to his left. Catch there by Memphis Blue. 4-yard gain out to the 39.
And Memphis Blue's been very reliable today for Mr. Thomas Rahman Sr. there. As he saw, he's over 100 yards receiving with 1 touchdown. The out route was successful here on first down, making this a more manageable 2nd and 6.
Defense showing blitz. They'll have to drop back.
Uh-oh.
Towards the left. Great catch. Just gets up and snags that out of the air. Brett Funk on the reception.
And great job by Brett Funk, who knows that the great Colin Douglas is going to be on him all day, and he's been coming for some spectacular catches all game long. I know St. Louis is probably not thinking of his last name. They're probably thinking about switching one of those letters out.
Well, it has been Memphis Blue who's been the main target for Thomas Rahman so far. They'll hand it off to Redford here. He's got a couple of yards. But, I mean, Brett Funk, while he hasn't been, the number 1 guy in this game, he's made some catches when it's really mattered.
Yes, and every time he's making those catches, he's been contested shortly after, and he maintains the composure needed to hold on to the ball and help his team move down the field.
Rahman steps up in the pocket, dumps it off. Good catch. Again, Memphis Blue, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Another important 3rd down. Can St. Louis defense do what they did at the end of the first half and hold Vegas to 3, will Vegas be able to convert here and extend this drive? We're almost done with this third quarter. It's 5 minutes left, basically.
They're in a split set. 2 wide receivers. Throws it out to the left side. What a catch. Bit of an awkward catch, but he makes it. It's first down from the 9.
And it's Brett Funk once again. Now I'm trying not to say the wrong word, but great job by Brett. Basically, get on his knees and make the catch. That was dangerous in the first half. That almost cost them an INT, but in the second half, he was all by himself. Was able to make that catch and extend this drive.
He stayed in bounds while making it as well. Very important. Obviously, catch the ball out of bounds doesn't really count for anything as that's over the middle. Good catch, Marion Cabretti. He's been targeted a couple times today. The backup wide receiver for Las Vegas. And really, they're trying to spread it around. Of course, Blue has been the main target, but when there's so many holes in the secondary, these targets really start to show themselves.
And they've been very reliable once their number is called. More times than not, they've been making the catches here. Uh-oh.
Flag down on the play. As Redford gets stopped in the backfield. Solid tackle. That time, I believe that was Bo Knowles again. We talked about him earlier, but we've got to see. Will be a holding call. Will they accept? Most likely. It's a 10-yard penalty. Going to push them all the way back, and that's going to be huge for St. Louis.
So that's a double whammy. Butch Coolidge, sorry. He's the center who's got called for holding. But as you saw right there, that holding didn't even matter because St. Louis was able to drop Redford for a huge loss. So that's a double whammy for the O-line of Vegas there. We'll see how they respond.
He's got 5 receivers. Second and goal from the 15. He throws it wobbly over the middle, intercepted in the end zone. Unbelievable.
It is Drew, really. His second INT. And what didn't help is that his O-line didn't do a good job. Pressure was coming towards him because the O-line blocked the wrong dude again.
Well, we will take a very short break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports, live from St. Louis. Welcome back to St. Louis, where St. Louis now has the ball after that interception. It was a touchback.
Oh!
Noah Johns going to get stacked on the first play. There he is, Rhett Sawyer getting his second of the night.
And Rhett Sawyer just came in uncontested. We're not going to get a replay, but great job by him. Put St. Louis behind the 8 ball in the second along. We'll see if St. Louis can capitalize off of the turnover that Drew really gave them.
That was his second INT of the night as well. Now they've got to play from their own one. He gets hit while he throws. It's overthrown. Sawyer in there again. Lays a hit on Noah Johns.
And thanks to the pressure provided by Sawyer, that pass was nowhere near his receiver. If Johns had more time, that could have been a catch by the wide receiver. I think it was Angelani, the intended receiver.
This brings up a 3rd and 16. They are only at their own 14. If they have to punt from here, it'll give Las Vegas decent field position. We'll see what they can do. Steps up and fires. Almost intercepted. Solid play by Max Jackson. Again, we've called his name quite a bit in the secondary.
Yeah, and I had to be that guy and say, Max Jackson, you had an INT. Yeah, pick 6 opportunity there. Unfortunately, could come down with it. But Vegas should get great field position, as you said. We'll see what Max Jackson, the returner, can do on this one.
They will punt this ball away. Fair catch, not the best punt. And they're going to start from St. Louis 42, and the defense has had to make stop after stop in their own zone. They've come up big, but when do you start telling your offense, like, you've got to reward these defensive stops?
Yeah, hopefully they did it on the last drive while they were just sitting down watching their defense take care of business. You definitely want to take advantage of this right now. The crowd's not into it. You want to take the crowd out of it and get the momentum clearly on your side here on this possession.
There's Rahman.
Ooh!
Hit before he can get the ball away, and another sack now. The big number 74, more Rivers in there for his first of the game.
And his nickname on the SFL Discord is Cheeseburger, and he must have been hungry on that one. Great tackle by him, going through number 77 of Vegas. Go and basically say, hello, ramen. I like to have some ramen right now. Come here.
Cheeseburger and ramen. Match made in heaven, I suppose. But here's this 5 wide set again. We've seen Las Vegas go to it. It's worked at least a little bit. We'll see what they can do here. Throws over the middle off the hands of the receiver. That's what happens when you start targeting these backup guys. They aren't necessarily reliable.
So that was his 7th target. That means he missed 4 because he had 3 earlier. If you want your quarterback to rely on you, you got to make big plays when he does. And unfortunately for number 17, that didn't happen.
Again, Marion Colbretti, the target on that one, couldn't quite haul it in. So it'll bring up 3rd and 15. Pump fake, hit while he's thrown, and they will rule it an incompletion, not a fumble. Gets away with one there, but Masters in on the hit.
And I said at the beginning of this half that I want to see Rivers and Masters just take over the old line of the Las Vegas Fury in this half, and so far they have. We'll see if St. Louis can capitalize and actually put points on the board, as you talked about earlier at the beginning of this drive for Vegas.
This is a solid punt right out to the 20. Opts not to field it. Interesting decision. So they'll start from their own 13, but before we get to that, we'll take a very short break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here on 11 Sports. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into St. Louis. An odd decision by Peltier, opting to let the ball drop. So they'll start from the 13. 2:17 to go here in the 3rd. Good handoff and another solid run from Dawson. He had a fumble that ended their last drive, but he doesn't seem to be too fazed by it now.
He may not be too phased, but I think he had more room to his right, to the outside. He decided to cut back inside and get the guarantee yards, but he could have gotten the first down if he stayed running to his right.
Well, here's Johns. 2nd and 4. He'll take this drop. Steps up, throws, caught. Nick Finch on the catch. Eats a chunk of yards, and they're out to the 37.
And I seriously thought that ref got in the way of that pass, but great job by Nick Finch with the concentration. Yeah, that ref actually was the pick in that pick and roll, basically. He held the 2 Vegas defenders. I think Taylor Sconstein was the closest one to Finch, but since the ref got in the way, that freed Finch to make that catch.
I was wondering why there was no help over the side there. That would do it. So lucky play there from St. Louis. Throws it out towards Dawson. He'll get wrapped up from behind, taken down. Gets a yard. But now they've got to drive this down. You've got to imagine we're just about done with the third quarter. They need something here on this drive, at least a field goal.
Yeah, St. Louis is playing for pride right now, and they'll get a lot of it if they get 6 here on this drive.
That's a good pass called in by Finch. He doesn't quite get the first, so it'll be 3rd and inches. But with the way that Diesel Dawson has been running so far today, you'd imagine they'll hand it off to him.
Yeah, but I'm surprised if St. Louis doesn't challenge it, but they probably want to hold on to their timeouts right now. But I thought Finch may have gotten the first down on that reception.
I mean, even a quarterback sneak would probably do it here. We'll see what they decide to do. Handoff is to Dawson. He'll pick up the first just about midfield. So good play from them. It'll keep the drive rolling.
So the hole was so good. As soon as the play started, the fans cheered because they knew Dawson was going to get that first down. Great job by the O-line giving Dawson the room needed to convert that first.
Assuming Johns gets this play off, it'll be the last one of the half, or I'm sorry, of the quarter. He throws this over the middle. It's caught by Finch. He's down to the 20.
Let's see if the ref may have gotten away of Max Jackson there because he was trailing. He normally would be there to meet Johns. Here's the ref. He's right there. I think the ref gotten away. Not Max Jackson. I'm sorry. It'll be Taylor Sconsing that he got in the way of. So that's 2 plays. That ref right there got in the way and may bite Vegas in the butt for that.
Well, we'll take a quick break. Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11. Simulation Football League broadcast on 11 Sports is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help hashtag secure the bag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel, the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by SpyGoat, dedicated to the craft of audio. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. AIRVUZ.com in Troy. It's lovely there in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's been very lovely. The fans have been nice to us. They're giving us a taste of their great barbecue. So I'm nice and full and ready for my game shortly after this.
You will want to stick around here on 11 Sports. Baltimore playing in that game as that's over the middle. Solid catch all the way down to the 4. And this is the drive St. Louis needed.
So inside slat to Scott right there. He was able to make the catch. And unlike earlier in this half, he was able to come down with the ball after taking a huge hit by Rahman Jr. Las Vegas is in huge trouble. We'll see if their defense can prevent St. Louis from getting 6 here.
First and goal from the 4. Watch Diesel Dawson in the back. Wouldn't be surprised if they hand the ball off to him. There's the snap to Dawson. Trying to muscle his way in. Gets down to the 1. So it'll be second and goal from the 1-yard line. Do they hand it off to him again?
I would, especially in that formation, because Las Vegas hasn't been able to stop that. That's the same formation that got him the first down earlier in this drive. We'll see if St. Louis can cash it in, even though it's a different formation right now.
Under center. Second and goal from the 1. Handoff is to Dawson. He had a hole. He goes the other way. Gets in. Wanted to make it a bit more difficult for himself, but he finds the end zone.
And guess what? Congrats, Diesel Dawson. That is your first rushing touchdown of your career in the SFL. Good play. He did make it difficult for himself. It looked like he had that hole right there, but he saw Max Jackson want no part of him. And that eventually was a smart decision because he got into the end zone and gave St. Louis the lead.
How surprising is that to you that that is Diesel Dawson's first ever rushing touchdown with how well he's played today?
I'm very surprising, but that is a nod to the new offensive coordinator, Colin Douglas. He's like Diesel Dawson's going to get more touches today, and Diesel Dawson paid off that goodwill from Douglas by getting 6.
Make it a 4-point game. So St. Louis drives all the way down, and as you can see, if you want to join the SFL, visit our website, simulationfl.net. Find our Discord server information there. Maybe you can be Diesel Dawson with your first rushing touchdown. Hopefully you make it a little bit easier than what he did to himself. But either way, he found the end zone. And the ball is away now. So Las Vegas under the gun, down by 4 against the St. Louis team who historically hasn't really been able to stop too many offenses. But in this second half, Troy, it's almost like they're a different defense.
Yeah, and they have basically shut out Vegas since the first half. You just alluded to it. They have made the adjustments needed to put a halt to Thomas Rahman Sr. there and cause him to throw ill-advised passes, and they took advantage of that. We'll see if that continues here in this fourth quarter.
Rahman almost throws an interception. My word, he was looking for Memphis Blue, almost found the defender.
Yeah, I know Thomas Rahman got to shake off the cobwebs. That was another ill-advised pass. There was 2 St. Louis Gladiators there ready to meet Memphis Blue, and one almost came away with a pick 6. I know Rahman is very capable of leading his team down the field and score. They already scored 24 points. They need to catch that fire that they had in the first half and get 6 and take the lead here.
Rahman changing the play on the line. 2nd and 10. He throws that to his right. Pushed out of bounds is Brett Funk. He's come alive a bit more in this second half. They've started to throw to him as they're seeing more and more holes on that side.
Yeah, and I'll keep throwing it to Brett Funk, but sooner or later, I also will look like for them to look towards 28 and see if he can make some big plays. He's been relatively quiet here since the end of the first quarter, actually.
Here's this 5-wide set yet again. Clear backfield. Rahman takes the snap, has to dodge some defenders, almost picked off again. Once again, that's Tyrion Jones getting his hand on the ball. It's going to bring up 4th and 6.
And you look at the punter's face, he looks concerned. And unfortunately, if you're a Vegas Fury fan, you should be, because St. Louis defense has came to play here in the second half. And remember, the offensive coordinator is also the defensive coordinator. So Colin Douglas, on his first day having duties for both sides of the ball, has called a great game.
Yeah, something must have been said in the locker room in the second half for St. Louis. They have played so much better coming into this. They'll get another opportunity to try to move down the field from their 35-yard line. Las Vegas, I mean, we spoke about it briefly, Troy, especially in the pregame about Thomas Rahman and how relatively inconsistent he can be. And I think this game kind of shows that. He's had some wonderful passes, especially in the first quarter, but it's almost like he's a bit nervous in the second.
He's nervous because his O-line's not doing a good job giving him time to throw the ball in comparison to what St. Louis quarterback Noah John's been experiencing in the second half. And that's been the difference, the time both quarterbacks had in the pocket. Noah Jones had more time in the pocket to complete great passes in comparison to Redford.
2nd and 8 from the 38. See if they hand it off to Dawson. Opts for the pass over the middle. Solid catch. Gains about 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. That is Cody Scott yet again on the catch.
He's coming through big time here in the second half. Good catch by Scott. And the important thing here is the clock that is continuing to burn away. St. Louis is doing a good job melting this clock down, giving Vegas fewer opportunities to score.
Only 8:25 left in the fourth quarter. Over the middle again. Solid defensive effort. Will bring up 4th and 2. And now Vegas will get the ball back with considerable amount of time.
And John Spartan was like, "This is Sparta!" Nice job with the one-hand pat down. It looked like that was going to be a complete catch to Algelani, but he got in the way of Finch. Get the pat down needed and definitely help Vegas out because now they'll get the ball. And we'll see if Thomas Rahman Sr. can lead his team down the field and retake the lead.
Will be kicked away by Zabrowski. Zabrowski? I think that's how you say it.
He's a broski, so we got to give him some love.
Zabrowski. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
Almost a block punt, but he does get it away. Return out to the 28. Max Jackson on the kick returns and, you know, hasn't had quite a productive day. Both of those players can be quite explosive, both Peltier and Max Jackson on the kick returns, but relatively quiet today.
And that's a testament to both teams, special teams coordinators, making sure that Peltier and Jackson doesn't have room to roam as soon as they catch the ball.
Thomas Rahman over the middle on first down. Great catch there. Memphis Blue once again over the middle. We'll bring it out to the 48.
And you see the difference in the game. It's the interception column, 2 for Rahman, 1 for Johns. But Rahman delivers a nice dot right there. Memphis Blue knew he's going to get destroyed by Kai, but still able to come down with the catch and help get his team closer to midfield.
Thomas Rahman unshaken. We'll see if he can continue to fire those passes on target like that last one was. Looks like they'll hand the ball off. Hit in the backfield, gets away from one, turns it into about 12 to 15 yards there. Goodness me, what a run.
And I thought he was about to take it for 6 on that carry. And here's one thing about Robert Redford. Yes, he weighs 200 pounds, but he's surprisingly powerful. And Bolden knows that for sure after that confrontation, that scrum there that Redford came out of. And here's the drive Vegas needed. They need to score 6 here, get the lead. We'll see if they can do it.
Rahman takes the snap, scans over the middle, caught. Was he touched? Yes, he was.
What a play.
Yeah, great catch. Chris Knight getting his first reception of the game, and it's a beauty.
And an appropriate name since it's now nighttime here. What a play by Chris Knight. Going down, making sure that he makes the catch. The backup wide receiver. That actually, with him making that catch, that makes all 3 backup wide receivers coming down for catch in today's game. So Vegas got plenty of weapons. They just need to score here.
He'll throw it out towards the right.
Ooh.
Big hit. Drew really stepping up, and he has had a wonderful game. Hard hit there on Robert Redford.
Yep. You usually don't see Redford go backwards like that because he's able to make a play after the catch, but Drew really just had the correct angle needed to hit him and knock him out of bounds after a 2-yard gain.
From the St. Louis 16, Rahman will step back. Large drop.
Nice.
Another nice catch, and it will bring up a first down.
Oh, there's a
Penalty on the
flag.
play. Could it be a late hit? Either way, Memphis Blue takes it down to the 7.
I think you're right. That's going to hurt St. Louis big time.
Late hit, number 21, defense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Freeman Peltier.
Wow. I have to watch it again. I didn't necessarily see a late hit, but I'm not on the field. That'll move them to the 3. So a 4-yard penalty there on St. Louis, I should say. So Las Vegas threatening from the 3.
This could be Redford time.
The snap drops back over
There
to
you go.
Redford.
Oh, he went backwards.
Who really can't hold it down, and Redford scores.
So Redford's like, Drew, really? You going to try to wrap me up? Keep me from making this touchdown? I don't think so, sir. I have power in my 200-pound frame. And that gave Vegas the lead. Great job by Thomas Rahman leading his team down the field and take the lead.
Still plenty of time on the clock, 5:36, but what a drive from Thomas Rahman. You said it. All the way down the field, looked so very good. Solid receptions, Redford getting in where he needed to. And almost kind of exercising that Drew really demon a little bit there on that touchdown catch. But we are going to go ahead and take a very short break. When we return, final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here on 11. Welcome back to St. Louis. Las Vegas drives down the field, score, and put themselves up by 3. 5:36 left. But while this kickoff is going on, let's throw it over to Cameron Irvine for a quick game break.
Thank you, Jeff. As Peltier returns this out past the 40. Hey, Oklahoma City gave Sioux Falls a scare. They're rivals for a reason. The Sparrows end up holding on at home 38-28 in a thriller. Joe Clark Jr. for Oklahoma City signed just this week over 150 receiving yards. Riley Porter had over 200 on his own. What a wild one there in Sioux Falls. But for now, back to Troy and Jeff in St. Louis.
Thank you very much, sir. And we certainly have a wild one here as well. Great return by Peltier. Puts St. Louis on their own 46 to start this drive. Let's see what they do. They hand the ball off. There's Diesel Dawson rumbling his way up. 2nd and inches coming up here from the 44.
We're going to call him the Diesel. I know his name's Diesel, but we're going to call him the Diesel right now because he's running like a Mack truck. He is not afraid of contact. Every time you think he might want to take it outside, he cuts it back inside, meet the defenders head on, carry them for a couple of yards. And that's going to help St. Louis later on because that could wear the defensive line out and give Noah Johns more time to throw the ball.
We did talk about it already today, but Diesel Dawson, 6'4", 235 pounds. I don't know about you, but I don't want that running at me, but he'll make the catch, doesn't see the defender in time, gets hit behind the line, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and that was a awkward pass for Johns because he got rushed by Rhett Sawyer. Good job by him making Johns throw that pass behind Dawson, and that kept Dawson from getting the full head of steam, thus resulting in that 1 yard loss there.
So we'll be 3rd and 1 from the 45. They hand it off to Dawson. He's up the middle. He'll get the first and more. Down to the 39-yard line. And there has been no response from Las Vegas to this run game.
Yeah, and as I said before, Dawson looked like he had more room to run to his left. He decided he wanted to take on a couple defenders of the Las Vegas Fury and carry them for a couple of yards. He's been the workhorse here in this second half. We'll see if Vegas is going to pay for it here on this next play.
Well, John's in the shotgun. He's looking over the middle. Ooh. Tipped away. Ill-advised pass. Hit Jonathan Taylor Skoning just about dead in the middle of his body.
And that pass was intended to Dawson. They actually had him run a inside slant route, but Wisconsin had enough of Dawson's foolishness. He was able to get the pat down there.
So 2nd and 10 from the 39. We'll throw it out towards Dawson. Can't quite turn up field, so only a gain of 2 brings up a long 3rd down.
Yeah, it looks like Dawson may be a little bit tired because he wasn't able to turn up field right away after that catch. He caught the ball in motion, but great job by the Las Vegas Fury making sure that they wrap him up before he gets started. A huge 3rd down for St. Louis because they're the ones behind. They want to get in field goal range at least.
Takes the handoff.
Oh!
Big sack. Rhett Sawyer gets his 3rd of the game, and it couldn't come at a better time.
So that's now 11 and a half after 2 sacks in today's game by Rhett Sawyer. And I think Diesel Dawson was supposed to get in Sawyer's way and kept him from making that tackle. He couldn't. And St. Louis is now in the danger zone here. The zone of danger. They need to stop Vegas on their side of the field so they can get the ball back in good field position.
As we just saw, with that sack, that brings him up to 11 and a half sacks, only a half a sack behind Ghibli-Do. And of course, that is coming into this week. But either way, Rhett Sawyer has had one heck of a season for this Las Vegas defense.
Yeah, he may be the difference maker. We needed somebody on Las Vegas defense to make big plays to stop St. Louis from scoring. Right now, that's been Rhett Sawyer. Now, let's see if Vegas can extend their lead here.
Rahman under center. Hands the ball off to Redford. He chunks his way out. Hard-earned 3 yards. Good run from him.
Now, I thought he could have run to the left and get more, but I think he wanted to melt some clock away, so that's why he cut back inside and got the 3. As we see, the clock is still burning. It's still on Vegas' side right now, so St. Louis, big play soon.
Defense in that 4-3 showing blitz. Rahman wasting as much time as possible as he gets wrapped up. Solid tackle. Number 92 for the Gladiators, Chad Longstreet.
And great job by Chad Longstreet. Looks like he was jiggling with rage there after that tackle. Can he make a difference and hold Vegas on this side of the field?
Oh, we're just going to have to find out. 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter. We'll be back in St. Louis. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here on 11 Sports. And we are back in St. Louis. The final 2 minutes. This 3rd down here, Troy, so important.
Very important for the Gladiators. They have to stop him here.
They'll hand the ball off, runs up the middle. Good tackle. Ethan Kai comes up to make the play. It'll be 4th and 2, and St. Louis will get at least one more opportunity with the ball.
It's been a very exciting game. First half, it started off with the defense dominating and the offense woke up. The second half, looks like the defense dominated again and the offense kind of catch fire. Now it's back on the defensive side. Can St. Louis change that here on this drive? They should get good field position after this punt.
They did burn a timeout. The fair catch will be called. They'll get good field position. Start at the 47, and it is only a 3-point game. They don't necessarily need to get 6. I'm sure they would love to propel them over top of Las Vegas, find their first victory of the season. But from the 47, you don't need, maybe 25, 30 total yards, and you're in field goal range.
Yeah, they get 3, they win the game. Noah Johns needs to take what Vegas gives them. Don't worry about forcing throws, and they can come off with the upset here.
There's Johns. He'll take the snap over the middle. Good catch. Angeloni, he has 2 touchdown receptions today, as you can see, 43 yards and 3 receptions. He's caught 2 touchdown passes. That was his first catch. That was not a TD.
Yeah, so he's other than acting like Randy Moss. Every time he makes a catch, it was a touchdown up until that previous play.
Here's another play. Fires over the middle. Caught again. This time Angeloni brings it down to the Las Vegas 25.
Now he's coming through big time. They already in field goal range, so they can potentially win it. If I was Vegas, I'll either let them score or start burning timeout, something, because St. Louis is in prime position to get their first win right now.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation for Las Vegas. Only a minute left. The time is still running. Handoff up the middle. Gets about
Vegas,
2 yards.
They still haven't called a timeout. I'm scratching my head right now.
Yeah, 48 seconds to go. Looks over the middle. Wide open is Angeloni. He gets the first down to the 14. Still the hurry up offense is on for the Gladiators. 36 seconds left. Back to pass, right side, interception in the end zone. Are you kidding me? Thomas Rahman Jr. wins the game for Las Vegas.
As I said earlier, you don't want to throw ill-advised passes. Don't force it if it's not there. And he forced it, and Rahman Jr. read that play to perfection, got the INT, but here's the problem. They cannot down it. They spot him at their own 1-yard line, so they had to get out of that end zone. So St. Louis can still tie it up. They get a safety here.
Make sure you don't go away. Immediately after this, Seattle and Baltimore battle it out, but they actually drop back to pass, throw it over the middle. Oh my goodness! It was bobbled, almost intercepted. What did we just witness? That was so close.
We witnessed clutch catch by Memphis Blue, because now they can down it. This game's officially over. What a way to win by Las Vegas.
My heart. I really thought that was an interception.
Oh, they're not going to down it.
I mean, there's 1 timeout left.
Yeah, I will force them to use the timeout. Uh-oh.
Well, they hand the ball off. Redford runs. He'll pick up the first down. That will certainly seal the game.
There we go.
St. Louis used their timeout, but with 21 seconds, 1 more kneel down should seal the deal for Vegas. You know, I'm willing to say that they've won this game, but with how crazy it's been up to this point, I've got to see them take the knee first.
Yeah, they need to take the knee. We could have the miracle in St. Louis like the miracle in Meadowlands years ago. Nope, they're going down the ball. Vegas, way to go.
So there it is. Las Vegas take a 3-point victory over top of St. Louis. They've come so close, Troy, but an unbelievable interception in the end zone by Thomas Rahman Jr. Really on the 1-yard line is where he caught that ball. Will secure the victory for Las Vegas. What a wonderful game between these two teams.
Yes, Las Vegas and St. Louis came to play on offense. Looks like, unfortunately, Noah just threw that ill-advised pass. That second turnover came at the worst time for St. Louis, and that was the difference. And I think if I want to give an MVP, it has to be Rahman Jr., and it could be Rahman Sr., because both played well in the final quarter to help their team get the W.
Yeah, I mean, you almost kind of have to give it to Thomas Rahman Jr. A clutch interception to take away the victory from the Gladiators. I mean, Memphis Blue, I think, is also up there for me. He was all over the field today. But
if St. Louis would have won, Drew really could have been the MVP.
Oh,
well,
Drew really definitely had a wonderful game. And Diesel Dawson, while they didn't find the victory, I have a feeling that this is kind of coming out party in the SFL.
yes, it is. He just now had to get more confident in himself and be able to make the bigger runs instead of looking for contacts. That could have, resulted for them getting 6 points instead of maybe 3. But Dawson had a great game nonetheless. He's got to work on the fumbling, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, one crucial fumble did cost his team, but he did find his first ever SFL rushing touchdown. And again, Cody Scott over 3,000 yards in his career. So congratulations to him. And of course, a couple of new signings getting in there, finding receptions, finding tackles. It was a wonderful game all the way through. I can't wait to see who the MVP is, but these are two exciting teams. Here we go. Thomas Rahman. So there you go. You called it, sort of.
Got senior instead of junior there.
34 for 51, 347 yards and 3 TDs. Wonderful performance from him. That is going to do it here from us on this Labor Day Monday. Make sure you stick around for the Seattle-Baltimore game coming up very, very shortly. Thank you so very much for watching. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here on 11.